everybody? We are back. It is Taped On Live. It is your favorite podcast, favorite channel, favorite breakdowns, favorite everything. Here's what you know to do. Hit the subscribe button, subscribe. Hit the like button if you like it. Hit the dislike button if you don't like it. Leave a comment if you like it. Leave a comment if you don't like it. And then follow us on Twitter at the Mark John NFL, at BD Williams 18, and of course, pandasups.com. Use TDL for 35% off. That's a discount code at pandasups.com. Discount code TDL, 35% off. All right. So we're ready to review another 17-point loss, our third of the season by week 10 we're going into?
Yeah, going into week 10. So at this rate, we got at least two more of these.
Oh, I hope not.
Certainly.
Man, it's just too much. Too many 17-point leads.
Too much. This one's an interesting one because both the offense and defense seriously failed at one point or another in this one, right? Like defense had like three good drives that they started off with.
Yeah.
And then they allowed 4 scoring drives straight between, into the second quarter and then into the third quarter, right? So that, just four straight drives. That was it. And then they were solid on either side of those.
Yeah.
To the end of the game and in the beginning of the game. Obviously the situation changed. They were just they were playing, with a little bit of a lead in the end. So they were just running the clock out.
Yeah.
But that being said, it was just like smack dab in the middle of the game, 4 straight drives, defense just hemorrhaged points. And I think it was really in that moment, the script flipped so drastically for the offense. Like it went from we have a comfortable lead, and then 4 drives later, you're losing, right?
Yeah.
So, and then obviously offense couldn't finish it.
Yeah, I mean, the offense really, the offensive line was terrible this game. It was probably one of the worst offensive line games I have seen. I thought the Chiefs game last year in Arrowhead was bad, man. This was worse. And I didn't know if it can get any worse than that Chiefs game last year. I feel like that was just a bad display of football, and this was worse, man. It was just so much pressure. And Alex Bars, I know PFF had him with 6. I don't even look at how many I had him with. It was a lot. Parham was awful. He kicked his butt all game. They got their butt kicked in the run game. So basically the game was that Derek Carr handled it really great in the first half. He handled the pressure awesome. I think I posted this out on Twitter. He was 8 of 9, 111 yards and a touchdown. Was terrific. But in the second half, he wasn't good under pressure. And he was inaccurate, which happens when you're under pressure a lot. So it was just
what can you expect? You want this guy to just be superhuman the entire game? It's Derek Carr. He's not gonna do that the entire game. He'll do it for maybe a couple quarters for you. You got to fix it, help him out.
And it didn't get fixed. It just was terrible offensive line play, and it was everybody. Everybody was bad. Except I guess Jermaine Illuminor is pretty good. I guess he's been pretty good the last 2 weeks. He hasn't been he's been pretty quiet, but everybody else is bad. James was bad, Miller was bad, Bars was awful. Graham was.
I saw on the broadcast. I definitely want to see your breakdown, but I don't need to see a breakdown to know that the rate. Sometimes it's not apparent. Sometimes the way that the quarterback is handling it, right? Or sometimes you see that there's pressure, but then you go back and watch the film and it's wow, the quarterback's just holding on to the ball way too long. You need to get rid of it. You got, and it's on the quarterback, right? Mm-hmm. This was probably one of the most easiest from the broadcast to tell that the quarterback is just under duress. You know what I'm saying? Especially as the game wore on, and they're trying to connect and there's a defender right in Derek Carr's face. And Derek Carr's having to bail out, fade or bail out of the back of the pocket. I live on the East Coast. I watch a lot of Giants games. That's what Daniel Jones looks like every game. Okay, it's you know what I mean? Yeah. So it's just pressure in his face, fading, and throwing or trying to escape and throwing. Yeah. So, but it was pretty obvious to see from the broadcast. Aside from the offensive line performance, is there anything encouraging about like the way that like the wide receivers were playing? Maybe were they getting open and like Derek Carr wasn't seeing it because of the pressure? Is there anything encouraging to take away or what?
I mean, I would say that the game plan wasn't fine. Was fine. I thought the play calling was good. I didn't think the play calling was bad. I think they got too run heavy in the second half. I think they were passing all over them, and they came out and decided they wanted to run the ball. And they had 2 good runs, but although there wasn't any other good runs there, like they had the 2nd and 12 run, which I don't understand that. I don't understand that philosophy he came out with. And Davante Adams talked about that. They came out running the ball. And maybe they thought that they passed enough, or I don't know what they thought, but the Jags didn't change their game plan. I mean, they played cover 3 the whole game. So it wasn't like they changed something in the second half. Is that Josh McDaniels decided he wanted to run the football. And he was still.
So they were running the ball into a stacked box, cover 3.
Yes, over and over again. And we kept running the ball into a stacked box. And they were passing all over in the first half, and then they came out and they tried to run the ball, and then it didn't work, right? And then we got to the third and whatever the first time, and then Matt Collins runs the wrong route, and then it's all messed up. And then the next time, Derek Carr is just under pressure all the time, and it
especially if you run the ball on 2nd down, you're in 3rd and long every time.
Yeah, you run on 2nd and 12. When you run the ball 2nd and 12, I'm like, are you trying to win? Are you trying? Like, you're down.
Are you going for it on 4th down too? Or
are you going? That's out because when I watched it the broadcast, I was like, okay, he's going for it on 4th down if he's going to run on there,
right?
And then they didn't. I was like, oh, okay. I thought not going for it on 4th and 7 was interesting. When after Derek Carr almost got sacked or something like that, but I don't know, man. They went with this Alex Barrs experiment. Lester Cotton or John Simpson did not play that bad when they were in that game earlier in the year. Yeah. Either one of them did. They have not played as bad as Alex Barrs did this game, or like how he played literally every game. Honestly, to be honest with myself, literally every game he's been terrible, and I don't understand like what their thought process is, but he's wrecked this game, literally wrecked it, and you know what I'm saying? It's just I don't know. I don't even know what to say about it because it was terrible. It was hard to watch. My eyes were bleeding. I had nightmares.
All right. You got to show it now. That's in your breakdown.
Yeah, I'm going over the 4th quarter because I'm just showing how the offense.
All right, let's jump into it.
All right,
let's jump into it. The way that you're talking about this, okay. I hope this becomes a narrative. I hope this takes wings because, we need the coaching staff we need to bully the coaching staff through social media to get Simpson back in the starting lineup. Straight up.
Maybe, man. We need something, man. All right. So we're just gonna start off the whole 4th quarter. We're going over the whole 4th quarter. 3rd quarter is just ugly, but we're not gonna start off with a little check down to Jacobs. We're gonna start off with the slant route to Davante Adams here, which was blown up immediately by 95, and then Derek Carr had to try to throw across his body on a slant route, and Adams can't catch the ball behind him, right? So you see if Derek Carr had time here, this is basically be wide open, quick slant right here on 1st down. There's nobody here. This guy's guarding Foster Moreau, right? And this would have been an easy pitch and catch for any quarterback. He just throws it right here, and then Adams just runs. Who knows how long he's running, right? But I'm gonna show you on the back end what happened here, right? So maybe it's the alignment. They're confused. I could tell, he's not directly lined up over Mumford. Maybe Mumford thinks that Barrs is supposed to block 95. Okay. That's what I'm guessing. I'm just taking a guess. Okay. I'm taking a guess. Okay. Because Mumford blocks an imaginary person. I don't know what he's looking at. There's nobody here. Right. And Barrs is going inside, but I don't know what, when I go back to this side, maybe Mumford was worried about. So let's go here. I'm gonna be fair to him. We keep it. Maybe he was worried about Smoot because Smoot is lined up on Devontae Adams. And maybe he's thinking Smoot is coming still. You know, from this far alignment, maybe he thinks he's coming still, right? But he doesn't come. But to me, it's like Smoot's so far away, like, and you know it's a slant, right, Mumford? I mean, you should know it's a slant, right? He should know that. He just doesn't. Nobody blocks him. He just right through the gate to the quarterback, and the Derek Carr has to make a tough throw right there. You know
that hit his hands.
It did hit his hands. It did hit his hands. He could have got that ball.
Bad throw, but also bad execution at the end.
Bad execution too, yeah. And the Derek Carr, you got to watch Derek Carr just like, what the hell? I just want to show his motion right here because it's funny. Like, yeah, nobody's gonna block 95. Nobody. All right, cool. All right, so 2nd and 10 here. Sorry, no, we're going to skip to 3rd and 9. Let's get 4 right here. Let's get to 3rd and 9. This play almost gets blown up by the offensive line too. We get a free blitzer here. Right? I mean, Derek Carr, he's working this side, right? But we get a free blitzer, and plus there's linemen losing. Derek Carr does a great job of making that guy miss. And making a play right there. So basically, he would have to do that. I mean, he did it pretty well in the first half, but he basically would have to do this all game. It basically would have to been, Derek Carr just been superhuman. Just all game. I mean, look at it. I mean, this is probably one of the most impressive plays he's made. That's a free blitzer right there. Just totally made a miss. Right? Nice throw. All right. Next play here. More pressure. I really didn't go over the pressure that was caused here. So let me talk about that a little bit. They see the blitzes here, right? Only rush 5. But, for some reason, both these guys, I don't know what's happening here. Like, nobody picked up the 5th guy. Even though it's 5-on-5. Yeah, I mean, this is 5-on-5, guys. I mean, there's a 5th guy coming. We see him. Everybody knows he's coming. We all see him. Look at him. He's creeping up. For some reason, we don't block him. We decide we're blocking Smoot. Both of us. And nobody's blocking him 5. And, Derek Carr, good thing Derek Carr made that guy miss.
He's doing a lot of that.
Yeah, so I mean that's on bars again, right? So here we go. Next one. I kind of just want to show this one because I think Jacobs really missed his crack toss. If he just kind of goes outside here, I didn't show this on the run play. I feel like if he just takes this one a little bit outside, just follows Mumford a little bit. But he doesn't trust the offensive line. Because you watch your back end. On the crack toss here, right? Mumford doesn't clearly get past Allen. So he sees that, he tries to cut inside. Instead of just keep going outside and trusting Mumford's gonna get there. He doesn't trust it. So it was affecting the running game too. The offensive line is affecting the running game now. So now it's 2nd and 2. Here we go. Actually, we're going to skip to 3rd and 10. 3rd and 10 here. We get another free blitzer. Adams is one-on-one. I'm telling you, look at that single high. We're getting one-on-one with Adams. Not even double team here, right? Him versus Tyson Campbell, 2nd-year player. And he wins. Look at him. He's winning on this comeback. He is open. If Carr is throwing this on time. Now, of course, Carr is not throwing this on time. He's running on 3rd and 10 because we get a free blitzer here. So, right, nobody picks up 42. Roberto Washington's in the back end, but nobody picks up 42. Carr has to flick this ball. On the sideline. So instead of a first down, once again, you're gonna watch this, you'd be like, why does nobody block 42? Okay. 42 is coming. They might have confused them, right? You see Lloyd, he's dropping back, but they're sending 42 instead. This is a great blitz call, to be honest, right? But James.
It's a good look. It's a good look.
Right? But Parham's going this way. James is going this way. And this guy's just coming free. Boom. Nobody blocks him. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely, that's a great blitz look, right? But I mean, he's still close to the line. He's still looking in at the quarterback. It's not like he's looking at Moreau. He's not looking at Moreau, right? So you gotta have an idea if somebody's coming, right? I mean, you're the center. You're looking up. You gotta have an idea, okay?
That's on James.
It's totally missed. Play blown up. All right. 1st and 10. What we got here? Got the play action on this one, right? So on this one, I like this one because you got slant and goose, all right? And I know people see Hunter Renfrow's open at the top of this on this too, but Devontae Adams is open as well on this, all right? But we got a guy blitzing off the edge, safety off the edge again, okay? So we got safety off the edge. We got play action, which I don't know why we're running play action down 24-20 with 7 minutes left. That's okay. Play action, right? You get a little suction from the linebackers, right? And somebody asked, like, why is Carr not throwing this Renfrow already? Because, well, one, Renfrow has his head down and he's not looking. 2, you see this space right here. Look at this. I mean, this is a skinny post, okay? So this is going to be a skinny post right here. You see the space? Like, that is that, right? He hits this on time. It is a great play, right? And he's about to anticipate this pretty well, too, right? You see where he's throwing this ball, where he already has thrown the ball. Adams is not even out of his cut yet. But there's a problem we'll talk about in a second, and he misses this throw, right? I mean, if that was some great execution on the back end of this, this blocking right here, right? This might have been a huge play, okay? So Jacobs has to pick up 42 here, right? He just got to pick him up. That's all he's got to do. That's his job. You see the rotation, but he just kind of gives this half block. I don't know what he's doing here. I don't know what this was. Maybe he thought he was going to take him out.
Dang.
I don't know what that was, but it didn't allow Carr to step into this throw. I know somebody says this was tipped, but I don't know how tipped was that? It was just he didn't step into the throw mostly. If he had a chance to get a full follow-through anticipation throw right here, I feel like that he hits that and Adams is just running.
Up until this point as well is going to speed up his clock.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous. You know what I mean? All right, here we go. Next play. Now we got full-on blitz. There's just pressure everywhere. It's just nothing. And, I mean, on this one, Hunter Renfrow's going to be wide open on this one. He's wide open. You can see this guy. He's breaking on Hollins. And we're going to watch. This is exactly. It's where Derek Carr is looking, too. You see on the back end here. All right, so it sends Smoot to. Nobody blocks anybody. right? And this is what I'm saying. And Derek Carr, he's pointing out everything, right? Everything to look at, right? Somebody else comes. I don't know what Barnes is doing. Why is Barnes not blocking? He's expecting James to block him. I don't know. I don't know what's happening, but it's a free guy. It's just ugly, man. It's ugly.
Gosh.
Good Lord, right? All right. Here we go. This one, I posted this one on Twitter. And you can see with the chop blocks, this is designed to go to this quick slant. This is the 3rd and 2. I mean, this is a huge play. You probably should have threw this quick slant, right? But earlier in the game, they threw a touchdown on this play. Okay, they threw a touchdown, more of a wide hook, but they came to Adams on the fade. They threw a touchdown. Same exact kind of look, one-on-one fade route, right? So we get the motion right here. He's getting man, right? Carr sees his safety. He knows his safety's coming back down now, right? The safety's coming in the box. It's 3rd and 2. So the safety's coming to the box just in case they run, right? So you can tell, see chop block right there from Illuminor. This ball's supposed to go right there, Renfro. But we're throwing it over here, and we get nothing. So why do we get nothing? Let's fast forward here a little bit. Let's fast forward. Because I really hope Derek Carr is not throwing this back shoulder, because you see, I mean, Adams, he beat him, right? I'll watch the show one more time. Off the line. He's beat right there. He's about to get stacked. Just like he did earlier, right? But Carr had to get rid of it way too fast. So here's the next one. So same place, sorry here, right? And his Arden Key just kills Parham off the line, just off the line quick, and see how Carr has to rush his process and just try to get some kind of throw, hoping that maybe Adams sees the back shoulder, but he throws it out of bounds.
Yeah.
So it's interesting because even how quick he read this, right? Because he sees that safety, but you can see him looking at it, eyeing that safety. He sees that safety stay. If that safety dropped, he's going here. He sees that safety stay, he's going to Adams, right? But my thought process is, does he get this ball off the rip, bro?
No, he's not even gonna see that. He's gonna get hit in the back.
Yeah, he's gonna hit in the back, right?
Lose the ball.
And then fumble.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I don't know.
4th and 2.
4th and 2. Here we go. Here's another one, right? Now, it's 2 yards. He probably could just went to Abdullah here, just do a little 2-yard pass. But he's also expecting Hunter Renfrow to win, which he doesn't. He's got Hunter Renfrow on a linebacker, I think, or Darius Williams, right? He's got on Darius Williams. He's expecting him to win here. But we'll talk about this in a second on the back end, why his throw isn't actually perfect, right? Because, I mean, Abdullah is the check down here, right? He is a check down. You can say, oh, you just throw it right here, throw the check down. But the play's supposed to go here, right?
You'd think Hunter Renfrow is going to be open.
Hunter Renfrow, he can win too. And it's game over, right? But, you check it on the back end. Nice. Smooth, just beats bars quick. So Carr has to move, right? And he rushes because of the pressure, right? So he boom, moves, rushes, pressure, rushes his process, fades away from the throw, throws high, boom, game over. And then people talk about sacks and pressure. What's so great about sacks? What's so great about pressure, right? You know what I'm saying? What's the difference? Oh, you didn't finish play. This is exactly why. Because you get a quarterback, can't rush to his throw. He has to rush his throw. He has to rush his process.
Yeah.
You can't finish. You can't step into it. Ball comes out high. Inaccurate pass. Game over. Yeah, that's it, man.
Was that the entire fourth quarter?
Yeah, that was the entire fourth quarter.
I like it when you can, when like there's an opportunity to present like kind of like what happened in the game.
Yeah.
With just showing like the plays in sequential order. You know, it tells a great story. You know, like we're seeing the down and distance, we're seeing the different situations that they were in. I mean, just that quarter, even if that was the only time that the offensive line played bad, right?
Yeah.
Just that quarter alone is damning, right? Like that's bad enough. So the fact that that was happening the entire game, really, where Derek Carr is under duress, I'd be interesting to maybe we could shop this around. I don't know who we would send this to, but what I was noticing is Derek Carr is pointing at guys, right?
Yeah.
And when he's pointing over here, the other guy goes. And then when he points over here, the guy comes from the other way. So I don't know if maybe that's an adjustment that they have, right? Where it's like an option. Hey, we got 3 blitzers.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever the quarterback points at, don't go.
Yeah, that's a good adjustment.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So in which case, like the counter for that would be like coming up with some code words for Derek Carr to use at the line instead of pointing at guys, right? So the cat and mouse games continue, but it was like consistently Derek Carr was like pointing at some guys, and then some other guy would sneak in and be a free rusher.
Yeah.
From the dudes that he was, who wasn't one of the guys that he was pointing at. So I'd be interested to see. I'm not sure who we could send that to though, but I'm suspicious that might have been an adjustment that the Jaguars were doing.
Yeah. Yeah, that's something cool to point out because there's just so many free rushers on the blitzes, man. Especially for the quarter, they started blitzing them like crazy, man. As you can see, they really didn't blitz them really in the game. Fourth quarter, man, they just started coming after them with all these different types of blitzes.
That was a lot of blitzes. That was a ton of blitzes.
A ton of them, right? A ton of them, and you could.
And like that's a smart game plan. Like this offensive line is not good. Like go at them, stress them. Like make them really work for it. He's Andre James. He did not look good there, right? Obviously bars. Okay, we saw Parham get beat a couple times. Munford blocking no one on that play. Gosh, that's embarrassing. That's a comedy of errors there. And all it took was that defensive end to just line up in a 4-eye, and then it just completely ruined. Like Munford was like, "This is not a defensive end."
Yeah, let me block the guy who's on the Let
me block the nickel. The nickel must be coming. I'm gonna get out here. The nickel must be coming out the edge. No way. No, like that guy? Really? 4-eye? Yikes. Yeah, so basically every single way that the offensive line broke down, it could break down. You could also, I think that if someone wanted to, and they wanted to say that this is on Carr, if it's on Carr, it's not on, because like you're not going to have, I don't care what your expectations are. If a quarterback's under duress, he's going to be off, in terms of accuracy. Like, come on, right? You just can't be under duress that much and expect the quarterback to like consistently deliver pinpoint accuracy passes. Like, no, that's not happening. Your feet have to be right to throw with accuracy, right? Mm-hmm. But if you want to blame it on Carr, maybe blame it on him calling out protections and send the protections. But you can't do that. We can't even do that, right? Because we're not in the game. We know we're not in the building to know the game plan. No. So that would be something that maybe, the coaching staff or, Carr and they know where the problem lies, right? Yeah. So, but I'm saying if it is on Carr, it will be on him calling protections. It won't, because you can't expect him to play much better. I mean, he's making guys miss. There was times in like you were saying, 8 for 9 under pressure, in the first half, right? Yeah, but it's going to wane. It's going to wane, like we talked about.
Yeah, it was just too much, man. Basically, yeah, he got too much, and then you're expecting him to be accurate, and under that, it was just stupid. It was dumb to watch. I was upset about it. It was just like, this is embarrassing. Like, can we change linemen mid game? It's like you can't change linemen.
Simpson must have an injury, right? He's hurt.
something.
I don't know.
I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on over here, bro. Because
what is going on?
Because I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, is Lester Cotton and John Simpson like? They're not that bad.
These guys must have been like blowing money at the casinos, coming in late to meetings, like no sleep, falling asleep, and during film. That has to be what is happening, right?
I'm wondering because
it makes no sense otherwise. Someone get at us. Find out, is Simpson and Cotton, are they on the town, painting the town red, going nuts in Vegas every night? Why are they not out there? We've seen enough of bars. Let's start a campaign. Let's bully Josh McDaniels into getting Simpson and Cotton back into the lineup, or at least Simpson. Parham, he's had some good moments.
Put Parham back at right guard where he was terrific. He was so good over there.
I think that this coaching staff is like trying to find like where guys are worst at and then put them there. Like almost like that's like this coaching staff is not putting guys in positions to succeed.
Yeah, and
offensive line, defense we're gonna get into later. Mm-hmm. We're not seeing that. We're not seeing that.
And I'm worried about Colton Miller a little bit, man. I mean, he's struggling because I'm noticing that when they start off in their set, it feels like they're like trying to fill out their guard. It's like their technique they're kind of teaching over there, where they stick their hand out first.
Yeah, they put their hand so they can find the guard's elbow or something, right?
Yeah, right. And Miller, he didn't do that before. I mean, they haven't done that ever with Tom Cable. And he's not getting his hands inside fast enough.
Because his hands are so. I mean, he's putting his hands out wide. Yeah, and then he's giving up his chest. Is what you're saying?
And he's not getting his hands in fast enough. So and he's always had a little bit of leaving his chest. I mean, he's done it his whole career, even when he was playing really well. But he could anchor better because his hands would be in closer, right? So now he's got one hand out, and when he's trying to get his hands in, he's doing it so slow. Trayvon Walker's already in his chest, so lifting him up in the air. So
yeah.
So he's not adjusting to the technique they're trying to teach him. Because Illuminor's over there, he's one hand and he's hands inside super quick. He's like used to it. He's probably been doing it for so long.
So his arms are probably a lot shorter.
Yeah, that too. Maybe that's why they like short arm tackles, man.
That's why they like short arm tackles, so they can do that crappy ass technique. Excuse my language, sorry. I've always, and I believe this, and if I coached offensive line, this is what I would coach. I want a strong inside hand ready to go.
Yeah.
And if you're putting your inside hand out, to touch the guard or whatever, and you're losing that strong inside hand, I think that's more of a detriment than any kind of benefit that you would gain from like knowing where the guard is.
Yeah.
I guess. I don't know. I'd have to research more of that technique, but
because to be honest, I haven't seen that too much. I want to ask Matt Holder a little bit.
I've started seeing that. That is something that is happening across football, college and NFL.
Really?
Yes, I've seen that. I have seen that popping up quite a bit actually. The whole like touch the guard. Yeah. Like they're like, I don't know why. I have to find out the reasoning, but I haven't seen like any clinic yet talk about that. But I have seen that pop up. I'll research.
Because it's really what it is that because that's what I was trying to figure out. Like, why is he not getting his hands inside like that quick enough? And he's not adjusting to. He's got to because you got to start off in your set, but you got to bring your hands in super quick.
Yeah.
And. Yeah, Trayvon Walker almost lifted him off the ground one time. That dude's a freak, man. When he caught Foster Ruff in the back, he wasn't even running. He was jogging and he was like, oh, he's running. He's going for 20 yards. Oh, let me catch him quick. It was like the freakiest thing I've ever seen. It's more because he wasn't running at first. He was he was kind of stopping. And then he just took off.
What?
I was like, wow.
But I was about to go off on a serious tangent. Okay, let's stop.
Okay, all right. Let's go defense.
All right. All right.
All right.
Okay, yeah. So I'm gonna do the defense.
Okay.
Now, defense was okay. In parts, defending the run, they held ETN to like 3.9 yards per carry, which is, I mean, averaging a stop, and they had plenty of run stops. So that's the first thing I'm gonna go over because I got to find something positive.
Yeah.
To go over.
Play good cop today, man. Good cop today.
No, it'll turn bad. Okay, so run defense. We're gonna go over run defense here. So yeah, like I said, we're gonna do some highlights. First play here. Watch Chandler Jones. Okay, shock this guy with it. Get a little headbutt, lock out. Okay, watch him lower his weight, keep his feet moving, detach, tackle ETN. Okay, that's a run stop right there. Here's the next one. We got Max Crosby chasing this down from the backside, jumping on a loose ball. Like I said, had to get some highlights in here. Here's another one. Max Crosby, he's going to go. He reads this all the way. He's going to go back door against this tackle right here. Probably should block that guy. It's the best player. Stops that run right there. Here's one from Denzel Perriman. Okay, watch him come downhill, shoot that gap. Okay, contact this ball carrier at the line of scrimmage. Okay, forceful tackle. The Raiders had a lot of these. They had tons of these. Okay, here's a fantastic effort from Chandler Jones. Watch how quickly he reacts. Okay, to the blocking scheme. He just feels everyone coming this way. Okay, and he's a B, C, D gap player. And they got an extra tight end in here. So there's like all the way out here to E gap, okay, because they got so many extra blockers in here. So he's a D gap player. But watch how quickly he reacts. Oh, they got a sweep, okay, and he just dents this, just pushes that guy all the way back, forces ETN to bounce, cut back right into Chandler Jones, just completely blows that play up. Okay, here's one from Blake Martinez. Okay, watch him come downhill. Okay, tackle that ball carrier in the hole. Here's one from Deron Harmon. I got to go back to my charting, but I think this is a blitz down here. Comes in, tackles that guy on the goal line in a short yardage situation. Okay, here's another one from who he's no longer with us. Jonathan Abram blitzing off the edge, tackling that ball carrier. So he got the safeties, got the ends, the linebackers involved, okay? But in short yardage situations, I got to say, I'm pretty disappointed in this team's ability to stop the run, especially against the Jaguars when they struggled in this area so much on tape, okay? Here's an example right here. Matthew Butler, rookie, okay? He comes off great get off, okay? And then he just loses the ball carrier. He has no idea where the ball carrier is. He's just still fighting. Like this guy, the ball carrier already went right past him. All he needs to do is just get an arm out. Please slow this guy down. Something, at the very least, try to attempt an arm tackle. But Matthew Butler has no idea that the ball carrier is even running right past him. Right. So we've got to keep our vision on the ball carrier into the backfield after we get off here. And we just didn't do that in a key moment. Okay. 3rd and 1. And now all of a sudden it's 1st and 1 on the goal line. And they would convert very next play, another run play, short yardage situation. Here's another short yardage situation. I do got to admit, this is a funky look. They got an extra tackle in the game. Okay. And now they got an H-back and a tight end, 2 H-backs on the same side. Okay. Raiders just aren't able to execute against this look here. Trayvon Merrick. I mean, I saw a lot of people saying they like the idea of Trayvon Merrick replacing Jonathan Abram as a strong safety. Okay. Sure, maybe guarding tight ends. Okay, but this is the drawback. Okay, for every positive that you have now Trayvon Merrick down here. Okay, not able to detach and make a stop on a 3rd and 1. All right. Have to think that Jonathan Abram would at least have a little bit better of a play against the run right there. Now, let's talk about the game plan against Trevor Lawrence, okay? This is a good example of what really they called on almost every single first down throughout this game. A fire zone blitz, 5-man pressure, trying to manufacture some interior pressure by sending Denzel Perryman off up the middle. Okay. And this is one that wins. Okay. Immediately Denzel Perryman is in the backfield. Not sure what that back is looking at. Okay. And it forces the quarterback. Okay. We just saw this on the other end, right? Hey, look what happens when you pressure a quarterback, right? He gets rid of the ball. Okay. It speeds up his process, right? Okay. So let's look at it from the backside here. It's really simple. Okay. It's a 5-man rush. Okay. And Denzel Perryman blitzes to this A gap, attacks this center's shoulder. Okay. And just wins immediately. Okay. And it's a screen, blows that screenplay up. All right. So now let's look. They blitzed the crap out of Trevor Lawrence. Okay. And credit to Trevor Lawrence, he kind of almost single-handedly just defeated these blitzes by himself here. Okay, this is an example. We're going back to the Paul Gunther days. A great call with terrible execution from 2 key players on this. Okay, first and foremost is Amik Robertson playing the nickel. Okay, he's blitzing. Watch him. If he stays right here and blitzes from this depth, this is a sack. But I guess he's trying to disguise and bluff. Watch him hop back here, okay? Takes a big step back and then goes, and he's just literally 2 inches away from it. Like, why would you back up if you're blitzing? Like, why? So that's one part of execution. It's just, I'm talking about a little jump step is all it took to ruin the execution of this play. Okay, going the wrong way. And then the other problem is, if this is a blitz, okay, anytime you have any kind of blitz drawn up, there needs to be a contained rush on both sides. Amik Robertson is the contained rush on one side, but there is literally not a single soul out here. Okay. And Trevor Lawrence is able to just use his legs and just beat that blitz with his legs. Okay. So Cleveland Farrell needs to get work out here to be a contained rusher. 74 just hits him and just drives him inside, does not even let him get out there in the contain. Okay, so that's an example. Great call, terrible execution. Okay, here's another example. Denzel Perryman gets another free rush at the quarterback. Okay, this is a sack. Denzel Perryman just misses. Look at Trevor Lawrence just sidestep this. Are you serious? Like, Patrick Graham is like, man, like, I can't keep on giving you guys better looks than this. You got to finish on these looks I'm giving you here, okay? And you see Trevor Lawrence, by the time he's got his one-on-one that he knows he wants to hit, we talked about the out routes that they throw, okay? Got one right there. Here's another blitz. Okay, this time they put some window dressing on it. Make it look like Blake Martinez is blitzing. Denzel Perryman's back here in coverage, but they end up swapping. Okay, still same kind of thing. 5-man pressure. Denzel Perryman's blitzing up the middle to get that manufactured pressure. Here's the only problem. Okay, here. Trevor Lawrence sees, oh, it's a blitz. I probably have a free rusher here, but luckily for me, they keep on running the same exact fire zone, so I know exactly where to go with the ball. This is like the 8th time they ran this look. Okay, and so at this point, it's just automatic. Trevor Lawrence is like, oh, it's a blitz here. Let me just throw a hot. Okay, so they need to start switching things up. They got to start switching things up. All right. So they do try to switch things up, and the problem is when you put too much volume in, guys aren't going to be on the same page. Watch 98. Max Crosby, okay, he's got his hands out. He's like, wait, what am I supposed to do on this play? What's going on here? Okay, and unfortunately, he's literally the strong hook player is like the most targeted player in coverage across all kind of like cover 3 looks like they're in right here. Strong hook player, usually you want to drop a safety down, be your strong hook player because, like that's where they're going after. Okay. And obviously you don't want to put Max Crosby in a position. First of all, he has no idea what he's supposed to be doing. Okay. And second of all, this is not even what he's good at. Okay. So getting a little too cute, calling plays where guys don't know what to do.
He played okay, man.
So really what I'm guessing what the problem is here is they probably installed this. Yeah, I agree. He did a fine job for a defensive end. They installed this, but they probably maybe just didn't go over like what their adjustments would be to a stack formation when they call this blitz. And so they get a stack that turns into a bunch, and I think Max Crosby's like, wait, does my job change here? Do I do something different here against this stack?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that led to some confusion. So he's not sure if he needs to bump this first guy or he needs to take the first in-breaking route.
Maybe we play him a little linebacker too sometimes. I don't know, man.
Ridiculous.
It was better than Diablo like all year. It's terrible to say, but here
right. Yeah, right. Might as well. Okay. Here's one. I mean, Jonathan Abram, he's not going to be a Raider anymore, so it's not like that. It's not like we're going to keep on seeing this guy get picked on in coverage. Okay. I talked about this one when I did my members only first half breakdown of this game. So I've changed my mind. What I talked about then, I'm changing my mind about this. Okay. This is a fire zone. Okay. Oh yeah. Same fire zone we've run like 20 times in this game. Same exact fire zone. Trevor Lawrence knows exactly where to go with this. Okay. He knows where the weakness is. Okay. And because it's a fire zone, Jonathan Abram, if he gets an out from number 2 here, number 2 goes out, this turns into man coverage. This is now man coverage for Jonathan Abram. So Jonathan Abram, either he's confused, okay? Either he's confused or he's freelancing, whatever. I don't know. But it's man coverage and you see him, find the guy. Now just play man. Just chase him down. Close that distance. Do not turn your head back at the quarterback. But what does he do? He peeks again at the quarterback, peeks again at the quarterback, loses the guy. That's not man coverage. That's zone. So he doesn't know exactly. He's trying to get a pick. But so he's not disciplined enough with his eyes. Are we playing man? Are we playing zone? You can't be in the halfway in between, peeking, going back and forth. Like that's never going to work. That's literally never going to work, especially against NFL players. Right. So Trevor Lawrence, credit to him. He sees the blitz. I mean, he's seeing the same exact coverage behind that blitz almost the entire game, but he's finding the guys.
Look are open. I like how they moved the pocket. That's interesting. Wow.
Like that, huh?
Yeah, I like that.
I guess that's not an Earhart Perkins.
That's that.
Gosh. All right, so let's see here. This is another blitz. They do a better job picking this one up. It's not like they got a free rusher. Again, Trevor Lawrence identifying the mismatch. They're just playing straight man across the board here, but out route again. Anthony Averett. I told you they were going to run out routes. Okay, and then this one is a cover 0 blitz here. They do a great job. Look at this. Cover 0 blitz, and this is the pressure. So no pressure. They got a great pocket against cover 0. Yeah, we could talk about Trayvon Merrick. He's peeking back here. Watch him peek. Take his eyes off the guy. Put your eyes on the man and close that distance. Get your hands on him before you turn around. Okay, so it's not a good rep, but at the same time, it's a blitz. It's a cover 0 blitz. You have no help. That you got to expect that there's going to be more pressure than this. Are you kidding me? That was the pressure. So the game plan really was to just blitz the crap out of Trevor Lawrence, and it didn't work. Trevor Lawrence just beat it, And I think that the reason why we were seeing so many of these same kind of looks over and over again was because Patrick Graham is coming to the realization that this back seven is not talented enough where, you're going to have some impact players overcome coaching or, whatever you want to call it, make plays, you just like make play that aren't in the playbook. That's not the way the coach drew it up, but he's a phenomenal player. So he just did it. No one outside of Max Crosby on this defense is going to do that. Right. So Patrick Graham, I think realizing that is just trying to dial it back. So he called a much simpler game plan, super simple game plan in this one. Right. But they just didn't execute. You saw the instances, there's free rushers, guys just not able to bring Trevor Lawrence down to the ground. So it's like it's drawn up perfectly, but the details aren't there. So I think for me, the question is, if the details aren't there, if the execution isn't there, for me, that's on the coaching. That's on coaching. Mm-hmm. But I have seen people say that's on players. So I'm curious to hear what your take is on that.
Yeah, I mean, with Patrick Graham, I mean, in my opinion, I mean, it's the scheme. I feel like you can still see that it's good. I can still see the scheme is good, but you can just kind of tell that he doesn't have the players to really run it, or they're expecting some of these players to take a next step. They're really expecting Diablo to take a next step in coverage, and he did not take that step, right? I think they're expecting probably like some of these players to be healthy. I mean, Nate Hobbs isn't out there right now. They ain't got Hobbs. Anthony Averett's kind of playing, I mean, he's supposed to be a man-to-man guy, but he's not playing really well either when they put him in a man. So, they got Teron Harmon out there. I mean, they got Abram out of there now. So they really didn't have a place for Abram either. I mean, they wanted to get Blake Martinez on the field more. And they had Abram on there. So I don't know, man. They really don't have the players at this point. But to me, that's why this team is in so much trouble. Yeah, I don't know where this team goes from here because they got to fix this offensive line. Offensive line is terrible. And obviously, they don't like Lester Cotton and John Simpson. So these guys aren't going to be here next year. Am I expecting John Simpson and Lester Cotton to come back? Are they taking a mulligan year? Is that what they're doing? Because, I mean, Parham's not getting a mulligan year. So, so I don't expect those guys to be back next year. Or even trying to start. So we got to rebuild the offensive line. They got to rebuild the defensive line. They got to rebuild the secondary. I don't know, man. I just don't know what. I mean, they have like 800 draft picks. I understand that.
I think that this, yes. I mean, obviously, the way that they've handled the offensive line, the lack of urgency when they were able to determine that neither the offensive line nor the defensive line was going to be, the interior defensive line were going to be impactful. Lack of urgency addressing those positions. It's almost like they were always taking this year off and, almost tanking this year. But I shouldn't say that. So either way, okay, they did not do enough to address this interior defensive line and the interior offensive line. Mm. It's such a cliche to say that, oh, yeah, you win by building in the trenches, and they, literally didn't do that. So,
is it their plan next year? I mean, that's what I'm saying. Are we having, a Jalen Carter type of thing? What? I don't know what their plan is. And at this point, I mean, if they weren't trying to – I mean, you traded resources to get, Devontae Adams, and you signed Darren Waller, you signed Hunter Renfrow, and then, you didn't address the offensive line. I don't know. It's weird. You figured they were just going to go into the year with the same five they had last year, but they switched it up and drafted Parham and then put Parham all over everywhere. And then they got Mumford playing, you know what I'm saying? And if they had this plan to get rid of all the Gruden guys, just get rid of them, right? They are just, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I just don't see where they go from here. I guess it's like my loss. I'm lost on this vision of where this team is going.
They're going for a top 5 pick, man. That's what they're going for.
I guess so, man. All right. I guess so.
That's what we've seen. All right. Well, that's it from me. I gotta get out of here anyways.
I know I can hear in the background, bro. We're good. All right. So everybody subscribe to the channel. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Hope it wasn't as depressing as a watch as it was for us. But subscribe. Make sure you follow us on Twitter. We're out. Peace.